Welcome back. We finally have gotten through our series of first day videos. This is the last one for June 27th. And as I say, we will make sure that future days are not piled up with so many videos. But I would like to finally conclude today with a discussion about the two exams that you'll be taking, the midterm exam and the final exam. The midterm exam will be on the Tuesday of the third week, and the final exam will be due on the Thursday of the fifth week. So you'll of course see those on the calendar on the syllabus, as well as on the schedule on Sakai. So please make sure that you keep track of those dates, because you obviously want to be sure the midterm and the final are passed in accordingly. Before I discuss the contents of the midterm and the final themselves, I want to remind you that there will be review sheets also provided. You will find those when you get to those points on the schedule, review sheets for the midterm and the final. And we will also run here online for those scheduled events some additional review time in our video for what you need to do for the midterm and the final. So I will just run through you here a quick synopsis of the midterm and the final so that you'll know what's coming, but we will provide some more details on these later in the course. So the first thing to say about both midterm and final, as you can see, is they both have closed book and open book sections. Closed book and open book. So there is in the forum for the first day on Sakai a sheet for the oath of academic honesty, which I described in that introductory email. The oath of academic honesty requires you to download the sheet, to then put your name on the bottom of it, and then to upload that sheet in the same forum with your name on it, so that I know that you have read the contents of the Oath of Academic Honesty and will abide by them for those two exams, as well as, of course, for the rest of the course, but especially the two exams. So please make certain that you go to the forum, locate the document called Oath of Academic Honesty, download it. You will write your name somewhere at the bottom. There are blank spots at the bottom, so you can fill in your name there, and then return the document, upload it back into the forum so that I will see that you have properly signed the Oath of Academic Honesty. So thank you very much for doing that, and please obviously observe proper academic honor code in carrying out these two exams. All right, the contents of the midterm closed book part are, first of all, 10 IDs, which will be provided for you on the midterm exam itself when you get it off Sakai. And then subsequent to that, there are also passages that will be provided for you only in that folder that will show up in resources on Sakai. The folder will be there from 7:30 to 10:30 in the morning, and you will pull out of it two passages which you will then write some identification about. The two passages will be taken from any of the works that you will have read, the ancient works, from the Harris-Platzner textbook. So you have to be sure that you've done those readings and that you're familiar with them enough so that you'll be able to recognize these passages out of context. That's the point of that closed book part of the midterm exam. The IDs are a list of names, about 40 of them, that are provided on the page. You will select 10 of them to do. You write out short pieces of information about the names that you've chosen. The IDs can range from gods, heroes, place names, anything else that might be relevant. I would tell you that anything that is in the Harris-Platzner textbook in bold type is something you should pay attention to. Bold type means it's very likely to be an ID item. So therefore, please obviously make sure that you find that there. So the IDs are available for you to choose from, 10 of them, and you will write short bits. The description of the IDs should include 2 or 3 different items about that particular character, so don't obviously repeat. So if you say Zeus, you can say, if you want to, that he is the husband of Hera as well as the brother of Hera. That's fine, and because both of those are true, but that's really the same thing. You need to give me more information than that in order to be okay describing Zeus to me, as an example. So those are IDs and those are passages. More information about those will be provided during our later review session, but for right now, be aware that that's what you have. You also, with the midterm exam, have the open book essay. The essay will ask you one of two questions. You select whichever question you want to do, and the question will be either select a method of identification from Chapter 2 of the Harris-Platzner textbook. It's a way of interpreting one of the Greek myths. So Chapter 2, as we're going to see in tomorrow's video, has to do with scholarly methods of interpreting the purpose behind Greek myth, like Freud and Jung and nature myth and so forth. You will pick one of those methods of interpretation. You will apply it to one of the ancient works you read. So a lot of people who have written this essay, for instance, love the story of Demeter and Persephone that's provided to us at the end of this week in the Homeric hymn to Demeter, and they apply nature myth to it. You can also apply ritual myth to it, and you can even apply charter myth to it. We'll talk about more of those tomorrow, and then Thursday you'll see those and you can put that together. So that's one combination that's very popular, very easy to do, but there are quite a few other combinations that one can do as well. So one of your possible essay topics would be to do that interpretation using a method from Chapter 2 in the Harris-Platzner textbook. The other topic available is to select one of the ancient works and to describe to me what you believe the author meant to accomplish when he wrote the work. What was it he was trying to persuade his audience or his readership or whoever else he might have been reading it, or was there any other purpose that he had besides that? So in both cases, what you need to do is to clearly lay out the essay in a paragraph by paragraph format that will allow me to follow your argument very clearly. Make sure that your essay is correct for grammar, spelling, punctuation, those very important things that I'm extremely picky about. Don't make those mistakes because you do have spell check and you do have other means of making sure that your essay is well written. So be sure that you can do that. And then also you have to be sure that you supply me with evidence from the ancient works that will support the argument you make. And you do want to be sure that you provide a very clear argument that you are going to support for either essay topic that you choose to write about. So there will be more description of that in the video coming up for the midterm review at the beginning of the third week. But for right now, this gives you some idea of what's coming. So to summarize, closed book, 10 IDs, then the 2 passages. Open book essay is either interpret one of the ancient Greek myths you've read with one of the methods given to you in Chapter 2 of Harris and Platzner, or tell me what the purpose the author of one of the ancient works had in writing that work. What was it he was trying to persuade his readers or his audience? Excellent. That's the midterm exam. Let's go to the final exam. You have a closed book part, 4 passages. Same thing as the midterm. Identify the passages. When you are going to identify passages, you will be talking about who wrote the work, the name of the work, what was the work about, its plot, and then tell me the context in which the particular passage you have downloaded from Sakai is about. Where does it come from? Why is it important? Does something change in the story at that moment? And other types of important relevant information. So that applies to both exams, the way that you will complete the passage section. And again, the 4 passages will be available only from 7:30 to 10:30 in the morning on that Thursday, the final day of the class. So be sure that you will be ready for that when the time comes. That's the closed book part. And the open book part is how superhuman do you think ancient Greek gods and heroes are? So we'll have to play some Superman music and see if we can make sure that our appropriate red triangular S is out there at the right time. But in any event, superhuman. Do you think gods and heroes from the ancient Greek world and maybe the Roman world really are superhuman? So you may have to define that term and what does it really mean to you, and then tell me why you think so or don't think so. And again, make sure that you will provide evidence from the ancient works that will support your argument. And by all means, please make certain that you write good grammar, spelling, and punctuation and such. Excellent. We are in good shape. I look forward to a really wonderful course. I'm really glad that all of you have joined us. Tomorrow, I'll see you back here again, June 28th, and we'll start getting into the first 2 chapters of Harris and Platzner and actually talking about some cool methodological stuff. So look forward to seeing you back here again tomorrow.